Hey there, Internet Explorers, or should I say Google Chromers for this video. Have you ever stopped to think about how Google turned us regular, boring humans into basically cyborgs who can access the internet within seconds? Or how the phrase "Google it" became one of the world's most common catchphrases? Need to fix a leaky faucet? Google it. Want to impress your date with a fancy homemade dinner? Google it. Can't figure out how to finish this joke? Google it. You see, Google isn't just a search engine, it's a cultural phenomenon, a verb, and for some people even a source of income. Well, today we're peeling back the layers of the Google onion to see how it forever changed the face of internet culture. Our story starts in the late 90s, before Google became the dominant force in the world of internet search. The landscape was quite different. The internet was a much less organized place, and finding information could be a bit like searching for a needle in a haystack. In the early days of the internet, before Google, people relied on a variety of web directories to find information they needed. Some of these early search engines included Webcrawler, Locos, AltaVista, Excite, and Yahoo. These early search engines were far from perfect. They relied heavily on the manual indexing of websites and often returned results that were not particularly relevant to the user's search query. The search process was more about exploration rather than precision. It was less organized, less targeted, and less intuitive, until two men changed the internet forever. Enter our heroes, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, PhD candidates at Stanford. These two had a dream to organize this mess. And in 1998, the company was born in a garage because, you know, all great tech stories start in a garage. Larry and Serge named the search engine Backrub and eventually, thank God, changed it to what we all know it as today, Google. Google, a number equal to 1 followed by 100 zeros, and it reflects the founder's desire to organize the massive amount of information available online. Their mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and usable. Sounds simple, right? Well, as it turns out, it's as simple as rocket science. First off, the sheer volume of information on the internet was like a mountain that kept growing. Every day, new websites were popping up, each adding to the pile of data that needed to be indexed. It was like trying to catalog every book in the world while more books were being written at lightning speed. Google had to develop sophisticated web crawlers to scour the internet and index this ever-growing mountain of information. Next, there was the challenge of relevance. Google's mission wasn't just to organize the world's information, but to make it universally accessible and useful. This meant figuring out which search results were most relevant to a user's search query. Google tracked this with their revolutionary PageRank algorithm, which ranked websites based on the number and quality of links pointing to that web page, rather than just keyword frequency. Finally, there was an issue of speed and efficiency. Google had to build an infrastructure capable of processing millions of queries a day and delivering results in fractions of a second. But they did it. When Google came onto the scene in 1998 with its powerful search algorithm, it was a game changer. It made searching the internet faster, easier, and more efficient, and it quickly became the dominant force in internet search. The days of flipping through an encyclopedia were gone, thanks to Google. We went from, oh, I'll go look it up at the library in a book, to, oh, I'll Google it now. Now, one question that has always crossed my mind is, when did we actually start saying Googling, or just the phrase Google it? Well, according to dictionary.com, Googling, the term itself, has probably existed since at least 1998. As Page once wrote on a Google mailing list during that time, have fun and keep Googling. Interestingly, a few years later, Google as a verb became so common that it was a nominee for the American Dialect Society's 2002 Word of the Year. The rise in use of the word Google is synonymous with the rise in use of the internet. As you can see here, Google's written and verbal use has exploded over the last 20 years. Can you guess what the first TV show ever to say Google it was? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Fluffy the Vampire Slayer. Wow. Who writes these jokes? Well, according to Charles Arthur, the first reference to Google as a verb took place on October 15th, 2002, during an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The character Willow, played by Allison Hannigan, asks the following in reference to a girl. Have you Googled her yet? Of course, throughout the years, Google didn't just change what we say, but also how we say it. Enter Google Translate, the unsung hero of many late night homework sessions, and the reason why we can say, "Where's the bathroom?" in 15 different languages. Google Translate has done more than just help us order food in a foreign country. It bridged language barriers, making the world feel a little smaller and a lot more connected. It's like having a UN translator in your pocket, ready to decipher anything from a restaurant menu to War and Peace in its original language. Google also changed how we humans act psychologically. Let me introduce you to micro moments. Micro moments are when people reflexively turn to a device, often a smartphone, to act on a need to learn, do, discover, watch, or buy something. They are high intent moments when preferences are shaped and decisions are made. What's crazy about this phenomenon is that micro moments can occur at any time and can even have an impact on consumer decisions. These moments are looked as opportunities for marketers to catch the attention of active consumers and give them what they need. There's actually 4. I want to go moment, I want to know moment, I want to do moment, and I want to buy moment. For example, if someone searches for an Italian restaurant, they expect Google to provide a list of restaurants located near them. They're having a I want to go micro moment. So yeah, psychologically, Google has literally changed how we consume products and services, which is kind of scary. Speaking of consumer decisions and socioeconomics, we have to talk about how Google has become the ultimate digital matchmaker. No, I'm not talking about Google helping you find your soulmate, although who knows, that might happen next. I'm talking about how Google has helped us find, interact, and even cooperate with others. Google Drive has made working with people a breeze, Google Maps has made traveling to others a breeze, and Google Earth, well, if you're anything like me, I spent hours as a kid messing around with Google Earth, exploring the world with my friends, all from my PC. Now, if you watched my collaboration with Nation Squid, where we went through Google's acquisition of YouTube, you'll know how impactful that event was for the internet. But I still must underline just how critical this all was. With Google launching the partnership program into YouTube and introducing ads to the platform, YouTube became a legitimate career path. YouTube was also the first social media to really coin the term influencer. And now when you ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, they overwhelmingly say they want to be a YouTuber. In fact, studies show that 75% of children ages 6 to 17 want to become YouTubers. This is all because Google acquired YouTube, created the partnership program, and turned content creation into a potential career path. Google has also made learning more interactive. Today, kids are growing up with the world's information at their fingertips. With YouTube and Google Search, kids can learn new skills faster than before. They aren't restricted to the classroom or what their parents know. Kids and adults, for that matter, can go to Google or YouTube and search for any answer they may be looking for to feed their curious mind. Personally, I can't count how many times in high school or college I Googled something to help with homework, a paper, or even an exam. And now as an adult, I still use Google all the time to learn and quench my thirst for knowledge. Now, another thing worth highlighting is AI. I know, you're probably sick of hearing about AI. It's all over the place, but this is a video about how Google changed internet culture forever, and AI is very much a part of it. AI has already been introduced into Google Search. Check this out. Boom. Instant, detailed, fully typed out answers. AI is helping Google understand us better, anticipate our needs, and deliver more relevant results. It's like Google went from being a helpful librarian to a mind-reading genie. Larry Page once said artificial intelligence would be the ultimate version of Google, and I personally believe that. Google's algorithm, how we experience micro moments, the common phrase of saying Google it, all might change over the next decade. Who knows? Regardless, as we look into the future, it's clear that Google's influence on internet culture is far from over. In fact, it's probably just getting started. And if the past is any indication, well, we're in for a wild, wild, wild ride. I hope, like always, you learned something today. Until next time.